Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Anyone trading energy stocks or crude oil or the USO in particular can take a look at the USO right now trading at 11.11 or 11.11. Can consider this a potential level where the stock or the ETF can find a reason to bounce. Here down again about 2.5% for the day. But if you take a look at the daily, and I'll show you the hourly, here is a level where it could get a little bit interesting for a bounce, maybe even for a swing trade. If you go back to the lows, you can see that this is where the RSI moved higher. Once the RSI jumped above this level, you can see the stock or the ETF had made a low and did go on to bounce. Since then, trading higher. So we draw a line from here, and right now you can see that if it can generate a positive day around here and show support on this line, one can expect that with support here, one can expect a bounce. So if this can hold, it could be a logical place for a bounce. In fact, if you take a look at the RSI lows line on the daily and draw a line connecting RSI lows, you can see that this is where it could form a nice double bottom over the last week or so of action. So if this holds, that could be a nice place for support. Also, if you take a look at the hourly is getting very interesting. In fact, if you go back about, let's go back about 7 months so we can capture the low of February on the hourly chart. And keep in mind here, I'm using RSI period of 26. So RSI setting here is at 26 as opposed to the default of 14. But what I want to show you is a couple of things. There's a RSI line connecting the lows, which is coming into play right now. As you can see, over the last couple of trading hours, it has hit that line, seems to be holding. If you go back and figure where the movement began off the lows here, the RSI moved above that trend line. So this trend line break brought the market off these levels. And of course, since then, we've seen that the stock has gone on a nice, or the ETF, on a nice major run. So we draw a line from here, and you can see every time we've had uniform activity bounce below the line and back above it, you had a re-entry in the ETF. Here the same thing for another short-term re-entry for a swing trade, and now coming back to show the same thing. So if the daily RSIs can continue holding and the hourly RSIs can continue holding, one can assume that the next swing trade for energy stocks and for crude oil and USO in particular is to the upside. Now, if they come and break these lines that we're discussing on the daily and the hourly, then maybe we get another move lower. But for now, it seems like the daily could hold. The hourly has already held. One has to assume the next swing trade for this sector of the market is to the upside. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. ETFs.